Good morning, and welcome to this edition of Talk That Tech, the
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning,
numero
y'all.
uno. Yeah, so glad to rock with y'all this morning. Um, so glad to rock with you guys this morning. First things first, we always talk about our weekends, and we definitely will talk about that. In fact, let's talk about it now. Then we'll talk about the thing we just talked about with everybody. So, how was your weekend, Trey?
Yeah, man. 1 second. I
Sneeze.
thought
Go
I
ahead.
had to sneeze, man. It was popping in. Yeah, the weekend was great, y'all. Basically, it was because of one day. Okay, Sunday, yesterday. I just got to see a lot of family yesterday. What was that? After church, everyone went over to my mom's house. So she has quite a few siblings, like five,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, or actually, it's four of them. No, it's five. I'm sorry. But anyways, everyone and their families, we all gathered up over there, had a good time, ate some good food, watched some football as well, all that kind of stuff. So just had a good time doing that, man. Saturday, I didn't do much. I was in the house. So that was about it for the weekend, man. But it was just good to see everyone yesterday. And so, yeah, the cup is full on this morning for sure.
Yeah.
How was yours, though?
Yeah, man. I think my weekend it went by pretty quick. It was just mainly gearing up for service and kind of trying to do some account research and things like that for the job, and then doing some laundry and stuff like that with the family. So nothing too eventful, but it definitely was something. It was
Necessary.
enjoyable. Yes, necessary. And listen, y'all, if you guys want to share as well what your weekend was like, let us know in the comments section. I believe it's pronounced Name, I believe. First, I was trying to do
Let
the
us know
accent.
if that's a joke. Let us know if that's a joke, or
Yeah,
or if
sir.
that's really your name. That's cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I definitely appreciate that. That follow up there. If you're there, let us know. And we got OTTO, peace and blessings, family. Thank you so much for joining us on this live. Now,
yes,
here's
indeed.
now I had to take the music off because I wanted to really kind of talk about this next subject with you guys. First of all, want to make sure that we do highlight something that's very important. We got Ty Smith in the building. So before I even get into that more serious topic, Ty, what up? So glad to have you with us
Good
here
morning.
on Good
Good
Morning.
morning.
Really good morning for you. So, man, appreciate you, man. Always a friend of the show. Definitely connect with Ty. We're gonna be talking about his website in a few. We're gonna highlight it on the bulletin board. So definitely stay tuned with us if you are not familiar with that. It's coming up, so definitely lock in with us. So I definitely want to take a time to acknowledge all those. If we excuse me, we want to take time to acknowledge all those that are affected by Hurricane Helene. Hurricane Helene, uh, if you are not familiar with it, if it's not in the region of your neck of the woods, man, it's one of the worst hurricanes that I believe, I know for a fact Florida, for example, experienced since 2022. And so, but this is not just Florida now. This is other states that have been affected by it. In fact, if you are have been affected by it, just let us know in the chat for
Yeah.
sure. We want to be able to, even if it's a situation where you want to call in and kind of vent your frustrations or whatever. Listen, we have an agenda, but we're willing to divert from that today because we didn't realize how bad it was. So, the states that have been primarily affected by this are Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, even Tennessee. So, listen, if you guys are in those areas, let us know how you're doing. I actually reached out to some either clients or prospects, just kind of like saying, "Hey, I'm hearing about what's happening in your area. Just want to make sure you are good, and
Yeah.
uh, and here's a meal or here's a cup of coffee or something." It's a little thing. It's not much. It's not, in the midst of everything you're going through. It probably doesn't seem like a lot, but just to show some level of consideration, concern, and empathy. And so, right now, I just wanted to make sure that from us that you have our support. So if you are connected to us, if you want to share your story, please do share that below. In fact, let me go to Tech Coach Ralph. I know you are in Florida. I don't know if you were in the part that were affected by that. Please let us know how you are doing and if you know anybody affected by it, because these things happen, and it's just because it's not maybe in our neck of the woods doesn't mean that it's not something that we care about, and we want to make sure that you guys know we care. So, and I see Tech Coach Ralph there. Bring up good morning, brother. Good morning. So glad to have you on the show. Of course, huge supporter. Everybody locking with Tech Coach Ralph on his show. He does so many
Yes.
different things. He streams like every day. It's like a
Literally.
marathon, man. Definitely admire your hustle for sure. So definitely lock in with him when you can, because he has some really good stuff there for sure. And he says actually South Florida wasn't affected, mainly the West Coast and North Florida were
Got you.
affected.
Got you.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Cause man, I was thinking, I was like, man, some of the people that pop up on the show from time to time, I was thinking about a few of them. I was like, man, I thought about Ted Coach Ralph, because I wasn't sure what part of Florida he was in. And then Darcel. Isn't he in like one of the Carolinas or something like that? I feel like it. I don't know.
Or Georgia. I
But
think it was Georgia. Was it
oh,
Georgia?
okay, okay, okay. It's Georgia.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the Carolinas, man. But then also, I was talking with a creator on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and she was in Georgia somewhere, and like was experiencing some stuff. So
Wow.
it's been pretty crazy, man. I think I don't know if Atlanta has had stuff like that before, but okay, okay. Darcel is in
It's
Georgia. You're
good.
right. You're
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, so he said he reached out to him. He said he's good. So good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. That was yeah, that was something that I was thinking about, because I didn't realize, like you mentioned, man, I didn't realize it was as bad as it was.
Yeah.
Being here in Texas, but yeah, it's been pretty crazy for some, for sure. I even
Yeah.
saw man. So I don't know where it was, but there was a video of a place. They were saying that people who left their cars, when they were leaving or whatever, they left some of their cars, and they were just giving out a warning for the people who had like the electric vehicles. And they showed a video of it was a Tesla inside the garage. They have like the camera inside of there, and basically, man, after the water went back down,
Ooh.
he just caught on fire, like inside the
Wow.
garage. But I don't remember what they said caused it. Like maybe the battery getting salt water submerged or something. I don't know what it was, but basically they were giving warnings out for people who had kind of left their electric vehicles behind, um, for that reason. I was like, man, that stuff is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Man, it's just one of those things that, and I'm actually trying to reach out to Darcel right now to tell him thank you. Uh
Yeah, yeah,
just checking on him, man. But yeah, man, thank you for the update. Tech Coach Ralph said this, and I'm gonna point to everybody else uh on this. He said, did you guys see the heroic rescue by a reporter? Say the lady trapped in a car in the middle of the night while reporting. Oh my goodness, no, I
no,
did not.
man, that's crazy.
That is crazy,
Um,
but definitely give him an award for that.
I'm gonna see it after this for sure. I'm looking
Yeah,
at photos of it right now. That's crazy, man.
yeah. It-
Fox Weather, he was a meteorologist, like
wow.
that's wild. Yeah, that stuff is, I don't know, man. Sometimes it can happen so fast, and water is intrusive. So, it can get into a lot of different spaces, man.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And so, yeah, again, just to say this, if you are or somebody affected by the storm, definitely reach out. And we would love to be a support however we can. So, just wanted to make sure we did that before we got on with the show. If
Yes,
you are new
indeed.
here, sorry, go ahead.
No, I said yes, indeed.
Yeah, man. If you are new here and you want to follow up more on what we do, look at the ticker below, youtube.com/ at tech, talk that tech show. That's youtube.com/ at talk that tech show. It is a call in show, so I'm going to drop the link in a few, but feel free if you ever want to call into the show. We do have this here so that you could have the ability to do so. And this is basically if there's a subject or anything that we talk about that you're like, hey, I got something to say about this. You could go ahead and call in on the show. It's going to be available on both the YouTube channels here. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can do that on YouTube. If you're on LinkedIn, you want to call into the show, just jump over to youtube.com/talk that tech, and you could go ahead and click the link and be able to join from there. But first thing we have to talk about here is a huge conversation, or I should say, a huge offer that this man and his team received from Google. They hired him and his team for a crazy amount, which I'm going to let Trey talk about.
Yeah, man. Sometimes life is interesting. It's funny. Sometimes some bad things can happen to you. Like maybe like, hey, I got an idea and nobody else can see it. And then when it comes to full fruition, everyone can see it. And those same ones that were doubting you is now saying, hey, we need you. A situation here at Google. Google had to hire a man by the name of Noam back again and his team for $2.7 billion. Let me give you the full story though. All right, so Google basically they made some headlines here the last few days because they are spending $2.7 billion to bring back an AI expert, Noam Shazeer, and his team from the website and software character.ai. So basically, listen, Noam, he's 48 years old. He's a software engineer, and he was actually one of Google's like first early hires, like back in 2000. So first of all, let's just get something straight. We all know what was happening to early Google employees. All right. They was getting to the bag. So I wanted to actually share that a little. Like he was already, probably big time set. All right, because he worked for Google for 21 years though. So that's a key, right? Because basically he's been there for a minute, and he had an idea, he had a dream, he had to go for it. But guess what? He came right back, and that's what we're talking about. So, anyways, so he's basically like, as far as Google's AI and what they're looking to do and what they've been doing, he was a huge part of that over these years. And like I mentioned, so these early hires at Google, I don't know if y'all know this. All right, so there are startups out here that are in their early stages. I'm not saying they're Google's, but they could be close. And so if you're a part of those and you can really grow with them, man, you can really get some good payouts, right? So early employees, like I think it was around that first 3,000, right? That cutoff was like 2004. So he was well within that first 3,000. So just to give y'all a little breakdown real quick, software engineers back then were probably getting around 8,000 options at around $90 during that time. So if basically assuming if he left when the stock was like fully vested back in 2000, for him it probably been like 2007, but let's just say late 2008, that stock price was around $140. And the way Google has it set up, you can sell your options right back to them at a higher price, right? But basically, it would have been about $550,000 back then. Now, it's 2020 something right now. Let's just say 2014. At 2014, the stock price was 540. He would have made about 3.7 million bucks when he left then in 2014. Obviously, he didn't leave until a lot later, right? 2021. So he has some ducats, all right? That's all I'm gonna say. So he wasn't starving. Now let's get back to it. Now, basically, y'all, he back in 2017, he basically laid down the groundwork for the modern large languages. Okay. He developed a seminar for that. And now he developed an advanced chatbot called Mina back in 2017 as well. So let's get to when he left. All right. So he basically left in 2021. Shazeer, he was just like, look, he refused to release the Mina chatbot. Or sorry, Google refused to release the Mina chatbot after he developed it with one of his colleagues, and they were basically saying it's safety concerns. That's what they were talking about, right? So they both left. So you got Shazeer and Dave Freitas. They both left and they started Character.ai, and it's basically an AR startup, and it literally like took off, and they got $1 billion valuation in 2023. Now, here's where the big like as big of a bag as that is, okay? Basically, August of 2024, Google they announced a $2.7 billion licensing deal with Character.ai, and it included the licensing of Character.ai, the technology, and then the return of Shazeer and De Freitas, as well as key members of their research team to the Google AI's division, DeepMind. So yeah, so listen, it's a licensing deal, y'all. And also on the other side of that, if y'all don't know, that means they can also continue to probably, I don't know, it's $2.7 billion. They might have said, hey, no, you can't get that out as well. But if so, as a licensing deal, that means they can go to other technologies and also license it out to other companies as well, which is more big bag talk. Okay. So man, some stuff is going crazy there. But anyways, basically, y'all, the massive investment, it basically highlights a few things, right? For one, AI talent in Silicon Valley is huge. The competition is crazy, and the payoff is too. Google, they're determined to try and advance their AI capabilities, right? They just released some stuff last week. Notebook.lm.google is they like, and it's pretty solid, not gonna cap, but they're really trying to roll this thing out, and so right now, basically, Shazeer, he's one of the three leaders that are overseeing the development of their next version of Google Gemini AI, right? They paying them all this money. They're like, hey, you're gonna get on some of these projects. All right. We're gonna have you out here working, getting this stuff up. But anyways, we just thought it was really, really full circle and cool to see, like, hey, he worked for this company all these years, right? They didn't see his dream, they didn't see his vision. He had to leave, and full circle came back around. Not only did they bring him back, but they brought him back with a big bag. Okay, and I'm looking down here in the comments. It looks like our friend of the show for sure, right? Our friend. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay. So he says, elevate to the unknown. He says they are buying brain power. Right, that's our friend Antoine. Y'all definitely got to check out his show today. He got a live show on Mondays. But he says they're buying brain power, and that's exactly what they're doing, right? They gotta get it back. He said that's Tom Brady money in the tech space. Shazier is an AI elite quarterback. No, that's facts, man. I didn't realize the amount of money. By the way, the amount of money that the NFL paid Tom Brady to just come back and sit in the booth is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, you're right. that's AI Tom Brady money for sure, man. But yeah, we just really thought that was really cool for them, for him to be able to, hey, I had this dream, and it was validated by boom, this big payout by the same company that he worked for 21 years that he had to leave to go and pursue that dream. So that's pretty cool stuff, man. Oh, you muted, Joseph.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. I have somebody on Instagram, Owen Gaza. He says Notebook LM is great. And
Yeah,
so
buddy, it's fire.
yeah.
I've been on it every day. Look, I need to start recording myself when I'm on these different AIs, man, because I just be playing with it, working this stuff out. It's sick. It is sick.
Mm. Wow. If anybody has experiences using any of these tools that was discussed here, definitely let us know. I'm going to drop that link below so you could join us for the call in portion of the show if you want to do that as well. You don't have to show your face, but if you're on YouTube, on any of the channels, I'm going to drop it right now so you could definitely call in and share your experiences if you use any of the tools that we discussed here, or even your thoughts on this segment. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like sometimes you're like, man, they don't see my value, forget them. And he kind of started his own thing and proved the value there. And then they're like, oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, AI is a big buzzword right now. We got to get him back. We got to get him
Yeah.
back. And just kind of, and that's like a testimony. That's a story right there where if you look at it for yourself, even if you might be in a different boat and they don't appreciate your value, build your own boat. Build your own boat. And
Yes,
then
sir.
from there, you are able to show your value to the world. And now what they could do is in retrospect say, hey, listen, we messed up. We messed up. We want you back.
Yeah. And you can go back to the same people. That's what I think. That's what was one of the interesting parts to me. You know what I mean? Like, for one, 21 years, he's definitely built up a lot of respect in the industry in that space, right? Not only that, I'm sure he has a lot of networking that he's done over the years. So you couple all of that, they started they started getting that thing done in 2017. So that was like early 2000s to 2017. That's a lot of years. That's a lot of runway.
Mm.
So now he's starting a company. Boom, he can hit up all his people that he knows over the years, uh and lay it out. Boom, $1 billion valuation straight out the gate. And then once you get that done, now you can go back to that same company that you have 21 plus years of experience with, working with, everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean? Everybody knows you, so they see what you're doing. And yeah, hey, we gotta make them a deal. We gotta try and get back, get it back right. No hard feelings in business. So it's like, hey, we let you go, but we want to make it right. What's the number? 2.7 billion, and me and my team, and bring back the freest as well. Done. We need it. We're done.
No,
So no, that's
yeah.
that's stuff. That's good stuff, man.
That's really good. And one thing I want to add to this, and this is more of a general statement regarding AI. Listen, y'all, we need to be in this space, man. Sebastian Thorne, who basically well, let me go to this first comment, right? Mitch, Achu, hopefully you feel better. Tech Coach
Yeah,
Ralph says bless you. So
that's hilarious.
so yeah, and I know you're new here, so I just want to make sure that we acknowledge you, Mitch. But basically, what I was going to say was Sebastian Thorne, who's a founder of the company that I work at, one of the founders. He's known in this space as well. He kind
Yeah.
of I've heard him say in a story was said about him. I would say that he says the way people used to use candles to light up their houses and then electricity was created, that adaptation from that to okay, let's use electricity now is what's happening with AI. And so for us, it's so important for us to really kind of learn these things. Notebook LM, I'm going to start looking into that. I haven't used that yet, and I use other stuff as well. But hey, if there's space for me to use that, I'm gonna use that. We need to get into this space more and more and more and really become thought leaders in this space and learning how to utilize it for ourselves. I know there are a lot of people that do, but we just need more representation for sure.
No,
So
man. It
if
seems like a lot of people. It's not a lot of people.
yeah, so
Like,
just a few, right? Yeah,
yeah, it seems like a lot, but probably because you're seeing it, you're watching it, but it's not a lot of people, and that's the thing. I'll tell you what it's a lot of. It's a lot of consumers. That's what it's a
yeah,
lot of. But
yeah,
when it comes to the other side, it's not. It's not. So yeah, there's more than enough room. You just have to, if it's something that you're looking to do or something that you enjoy, it definitely should.
yeah.
The world needs to hear you.
Yeah, there are some pioneers out there for sure, but we definitely need more. Uh, and I'm trying to think of the founder of Chat Black GBT. There's a few others as well, but we definitely need more. Tech Coach Rouse says everybody wants to use AI, but nobody wants to contribute to the data. Less data equals
That's
less
right. We talked about
accuracy.
that. We talked about that last week. Hey, they turning that button off on LinkedIn. No, just playing.
Yeah, everybody's like click, 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 opt out, opt out. But here's the thing too: there's also companies like Outlier and a few others. I'm not gonna name names. I don't really know representation, but there
Yeah,
are companies out there that will pay you to train models. I have a family member that is actually doing it right now as a side job. It's
that's cool.
basically whenever she wants to log in, she could go ahead, click, log in, and start training models. And she does that, after she picks with the kids, and then she does that another time. That's another thing that people are doing on the side, just supplement their job. Something I'm thinking about myself. But no, something for sure. We got on Gaza says make sure people stay present. On forgive me if I pronounced that wrong, but on Gaza said make sure that people stay present when in regards to AI. So let us know what your thoughts are on this as we continue the show. We're going to go into our next segment called Black Tech Global's Bulletin Board, or I should say the bulletin board that is sponsored by Black Tech Global. As
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know this ready, this segment is powered by Black Tech Global, your premier directory for upcoming tech events. Visit blacktechglobal.com for more. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to read a couple events that they have here. I'm going to be very quick, but I encourage everybody here to go to the website. It's there below, so you can see it for yourself, so you get more details about these events. Some of these events might already be sold out. Some of these events are coming up quick, so you want to save your little money for that, so that way you get there. Let me see. There's other things. All right. Sorry about that, on Gaza. Making sure people stay present. Okay, yeah, I missed a few things then. But yeah, so yeah, definitely. Let me go through the events here, and if it pertains to you, let us know. Like, give us a thumbs up if there's an event here that you're like, oh, I like that, I want to go to it. So we have October 1st, UX and product design break into tech mixer in Washington D.C. The cost for that should be around $20. Then from October 3rd to the 5th, we have BTS Digital Empowerment Summit 24 in Detroit, Michigan. That is $0. October 5th to 6th, we have CultureCon 24 in New York City. That's around $250. Then we have October 10th, Black Tech Fest 24, which is in London, England, UK. Yep, $0 for that one. Then we have Black Travel Summit 24 from the October 10th to the 13th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida for $350. There's October 10th to the 13th for Black Men Tech Thrive, which is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida as well. So the two events that are happening in Fort Lauderdale around the same time. Then we have October 10th to the 12th, Futureland, which is in Cleveland, Ohio. That's $25 for that. And then last but not least for this rundown, we have October 12th, New Men Impact Change Gala in Bethsaida, Maryland. That's $250 for that. If you want to find out more details, go to the website below, and then you can find out all the information if there's anything that you find that pertains to you. And thank you for supporting the show, IG. Definitely appreciate y'all over there as well.
Appreciate you.
So thank you so much for supporting, as well as those on YouTube. Let me see what else Tech Coach Ralph said. He said, Ferris asked me a question I didn't want to answer yesterday. I sent him I sent him to my clone. So if y'all don't know, Tech Coach Ralph does have an AI clone that he created to help him with his business. And I want to know what Ferris's thoughts are on using the clone to answer his questions, and if his question was answered correctly. I'm assuming it was, because it didn't seem like he had any issues with that. We'll find out. But yeah, so that was the rundown. Definitely check out the website for yourself to see all that is going down. And with that, we want to also open up about what's happening with OpenAI. So if you did not know, this is what Elon Musk had issues with. OpenAI started out as a company that was a non-for-profit. However, as you can see, with all the changes, all the interest, everything that's happening right now, OpenAI for hire is going through a transformation. OpenAI is going through a transformation. So we're going to talk about that right now, and I'm gonna let Trey take it from there.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you got to renege on things that you say in business, or at least they do. So they say, at one point in time, they said, "Hey, we need to allow this kind of technology for everyone." And now they're saying, "Hey, we still want to allow for everyone, but we're gonna make some changes. We're gonna make some money." OpenAI, basically the AI company known for developing ChatGPT, is saying that they're literally planning a significant transformation, aka going from nonprofit to becoming a for-profit entity. And here's the key details here, y'all. So, and y'all know it costs a lot to not only house like all this information and have all this stuff running all the time. And so I guess they're trying to make sure that, hey, we stay profitable and we can stay around as long as Google, et cetera, et cetera. But basically, what they're proposing, the board is considering converting the organization to a public, into a public benefit corporation. So basically this type is designed to make money, make profits, while also prioritizing like social and public welfare. So it's actually going to remove OpenAI from the oversight of the nonprofit board. So, I mean, it's just I guess a good way to be able to say, hey, we want to be able to take profits, but also, we have these great things that we're doing for the community and everything else. So, just overlook all this money that we're about to start raking in more anyways. Now the current structure and how it's motivated, or how they're motivating people or motivating to get that done. They basically operate under a hybrid model. So it has a nonprofit board that oversees the whole organization, and then most employees work in a for-profit like subsidiary. So that it's a pretty interesting setup. I don't know why they couldn't stay in that setup, but I guess that they're able to make more money, or maybe because it's that that nonprofit setup. That might be it. But anyways, the restructuring basically is going to position OpenAI for the next stage of growth and development that they're trying to get done. So it's going to allow the company to basically, oh, it's telling me right here, right, that they're going to be able to raise capital a lot easier and compete in the AI industry and how it's growing and stuff like that. So that's what that restructure is going to do. It's going to allow them to be able to raise more capital. Okay, easy. And now here's the thing. OpenAI, they're basically looking to raise $6.5 billion in new investments, and they're hoping for a valuation of $150 billion that's going to put them right there on par with, you know, major companies like Uber and stuff like that. So, anyways, the potential backers that the report include Apple and Nvidia. So you already know, first of all, I have no doubts they're going to raise this 6.5 billion. That's a fact.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and of course, it's saying that Apple, Nvidia, they're all in the, licking their chops, trying to get ready to make this investment or big investments, obviously, because you already know Apple, they shipping out phones that don't even have the new AI in it yet. That's a
Mhm.
whole other thing. I'm not even going to talk about it. So they're probably looking for something that they can, infuse and make sure this phone it gets better instead of shipping out the same phone every year. Anyways, basically, y'all, this new news is basically is coming with several known high profile departures though. So I don't know if everybody is agreeing with this new move, y'all.
Mhm.
The chief technology officer,
Yep, she's gone.
Mira Murati, out of there. Chief research officer, Bob McGrew, skedaddled. Research leader, Barrett Zoff, and
Sayonara.
CEO, yeah, hasta la vista, baby. They all left. They're out of there. So they're not happy probably with what's going on with the restructuring. The CEO, Sam Altman, he's basically stated that the departures are unrelated to the restructuring plan, but they're all leaving around the same time. And now you're releasing this news. I don't know, man. Not sounding too good.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, I don't think so. But basically, y'all, even though they're moving to this for-profit model, they're still saying that they're going to retain the non-profit arm of the business and keep it going. So, they'll remain at their core, but they're just trying to make some money right now, so that they can continue to grow the business. So, anyways, this shift obviously is causing some tension in around the AI industry. So you got the rapidly commercial development and the need for a responsible, ethical AI advancement that prioritizes societal benefits. So I don't know, y'all. We're gonna see what goes on here in the next coming months and stuff like that with them. But obviously, I don't know those people leaving in such a high position, high roles. I don't know if that's just a coincidence.
Yeah, before I go and say anything, Tech Coach Ralph is here in the comments section. He mentioned that it sounds like word salad to justify it. I don't mind them being for profit, but don't BS me, LOL. And he also mentioned, I'm curious now what the goals are. How do they strategize to be profitable, maybe by its results. We will see. He says, I'm going to apply for one of those roles.
I
He's like,
mean,
hey, if the vacancy, let me know. And we're going to talk
hey,
about
get
that
in
in a
the
few.
being one of the first 3,000 of OpenAI, to get them Google returns on your options that they give you that as well later on down the road. But yeah, it's interesting times, my friend.
Yeah, interesting indeed. And so let us know your thoughts. I think that it makes, I don't know all the, I'm not gonna even lie and say I know all the legal reasons why or things of that nature, but what I would say is that this made sense in the sense that a lot of people, when the money's there, it's kind of hard to avoid something like this because this
Yep.
is honestly going to be, or I mean, it's a young company, but I won't be surprised if this becomes $1 trillion company very, very soon. Like the way things are progressing with AI in general, how it's impacting our lives. Um, I know people that like they don't know what to do without ChatGPT when it comes to work, when
Oh
it comes to
man.
life. Like it's become so embedded in some people's lives already that when the mass adoption happens, which we'll see even more of that, then forget about it. The sky's going to be the limits. And then you do have companies um, that are, I won't say the name, but that are a little bit behind the times, and making their services intertwined or interwoven with AI. So this definitely allows them to have a better, they're invested in the company, they can get the profits there, but also utilizing the technology to do what they needed to do. So yeah, there are some companies that are fortunately behind, and then there's some companies that are above or on the precipice or experts in the space. Shout out Cresta. That really can really pave the way. And so this is gonna be a very interesting time. What up, 48? We got 48 on Instagram that's joined us. Definitely a
Yo
very
yo.
interesting time, y'all. And if you want to call in and let us know your thoughts on that, definitely let us know your thoughts below. Because I think it's definitely a good and interesting conversation that we could have regarding this. And we're going to talk about it a little bit
Yes.
in it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, I was gonna say, man, it's one of those things where companies, they have a hard time moving over or moving with the times or even at least trying it.
Hmm.
Obviously some of those notable ones, Blockbuster and things like that, where they just get washed because they you know hard-headed. They think they already know because they're at the top. Even when you think back, like the S&P 500, it's not many of those companies that have been around from, you know like from the very beginning.
No.
They always fall off, but you got to keep innovating, keep finding ways to stay relevant, to stay in the know, in the game, right? That's one of the reasons why, the Googles of the world, they purchase these companies for for billions of dollars when
Yeah.
people come up, is because, hey, we need to know what you're doing and we need to see if it's a way we can make it fit with what we're doing. And if not, we'll just shelf it, but at least we got it out the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That. Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is.
Legacy companies. I tell you,
Yes,
some
sir.
some legacy companies are doing the right thing, and a lot of them are just like, we've been here for a while, so we're good. We can stand up, but like you're right.
Kick
Like
our feet up.
if you see a little homie rising up, get him under your
Let me
wing.
break you off. Yeah, let me
Exactly.
break you off real quick. Share with the class what you know.
Yeah, yeah. Versus just kind of being like, listen, this ain't that, whatever you got over there. We've been around here for 50 plus years. And they're like, well,
Yeah,
you about to be out in 51 years. So
man, because it can come quick.
it come quick. We've seen it time and time again. But one thing I want to point out was what tech coach Ralph said, which was in regards to he's looking at a position. He might well, he said he might apply for one of those roles. He
Yeah,
didn't say
yeah,
yes or not, but there are some other places that you might want to consider. And this actually brought up something that I saw that might be interesting. Now I'm not gonna go through all 50 of these startups that you want to watch out for, because that's a lot. That probably would take us over the cliff there in regards to time, but I'll point out a couple of different ones, and this is mainly for 2024. Let's start off with different categories. So we have AI, machine learning, fintech. We have health and wellness, transportation, enterprise, software, data, security and defense, consumer goods. These are the companies that you want to kind of look out for. There's plenty of others, but I just highlighted a few just for conversation's sake. So the first one we're going to talk about is in the category of AI machine learning. These companies are companies that you might want to consider looking out and keeping an eye on. Maybe if you got some coins, throwing them that way. Again, I'm not giving advice. I'm just saying maybe, hypothetically, allegedly, whatever term I should use. But they have Cohere, which provides natural language processing models for improved human machine interactions. There's Perplexity, big fan of that, use that every day for
Yes,
developing
indeed.
AI powered search and question answering technology. So it's different. It's different from ChatGPT, but it's really cool. And this is the one that I've heard a lot of people use is Anthropic, which is building advanced AI systems with a focus on safety and ethics. So yes, that's Techno's right. It's totally right. This is not financial advice. Like this is just uh giving reactions.
My thoughts
So
only.
yeah, exactly. Runway, which is pioneering new AI tools for content creation and human imagination. Has anybody used Runway before? I might look at that one. I haven't heard about
So
Runway at all.
I've um I've seen videos on it. I never actually got on.
All right.
Looks pretty cool. Like it's legit.
Homework assignment for me then. Run away. All right. So we have fintech companies, and some of them I actually heard of before. Ramp, which is basically offering corporate cards and expense management solutions. Then there's Flyfin, an AI-powered tax preparation and filing service for self-employed individuals. All right, content creators out there who are getting money. Flyfin. Then there's Illumium, which making blockchain data accurate, simple, and fast. So that's interesting as well. In health and wellness, there's Headspace, which is a mental health and meditation app. Then there's Tonal, which you've probably seen is the smart home gym equipment that you can basically use. And then there's Spring Health using AI to make mental health more accessible. I actually use Spring Health through my job. So those are companies to
Yeah,
look out for in the health and wellness.
yeah.
That
Headspace, tonal. Yeah,
yeah,
those are all good. Yeah.
yeah. Transportation and mobility, Hetch, ride sharing app focused on late night transportation, keep you safe. Enterprise software and data. They have Grafana Labs. If you know these, let me know in the comment section. There's also DAS 42 or DAS 42, modern provider of data analytics consulting. Grafana Labs, they're
Mhm.
basically leading open source software for visualization time series data or data. And then there's Kogo Labs, which is a startup incubator focused on innovation and entrepreneurship. We also have Confluera, which is a cybersecurity company helping businesses identify and manage sophisticated threats. And which provide applications for security posture management for security teams. And Duri, which is building defense technology for military agents and border surveillance. Rounding it up, we have consumer goods here with Humankind, sustainable personal care products to reduce single-use plastics, and then Makeup by Mario, which is cosmetics line to be around makeup artist Mario. Um, I'll pronounce his last name is Didavanovich. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Don't quote me on that though. Rocket Reach database and AR tech company with focus on professional contact information. There's Rockbot providing music, TV, and digital signage solutions for businesses. And then there's last but not least Astronos, which is building small, low-cost telecommunication satellites for internet access in remote regions, which I think is definitely needed. So there's a lot of companies to look up if you're interested and see what they might be, if they're hiring,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
there's anything that if you're looking for work. These are the reason why I want to bring these companies up or talk about this topic at all is because we know a lot of people are looking for work, are looking for areas that they can grow, and sometimes being in a startup, you get more visibility. You get to be in places where like my CEO knows I exist in my
Yeah.
company. Um, and so you definitely want to look at that and leverage those opportunities as well.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge, man. And it's one of those things where it's like sometimes that might be what you need to do to get in or to get your start or maybe just to level up, right? Like
Hmm.
um you got the overarching, okay, here's the tech industry, and then you go down a level, it's like, oh, well, I have I don't know, health. I have a health background, so then you got
Hmm.
tech industry and then you have health, right? And then normally that's where people stop,
Yep.
but then now you can go down a few more levels, right? So it's like okay, AI health, or whatever the case may be. So now you're getting further, more and more niche into the space that you're in or you're looking into, and it can possibly help you out, right? If you're able to have the conversation with um, the CEO inside of your interviewing process, that might help you out more. They might see something and it's like, oh, you know what? No, we need this person because they have a specific skill set we need. Um, Instead of talking to a manager of a manager of a manager, and a team lead, and then everybody's like, they might know too much. I see them as a threat. They're not gonna say that. It's just like, we decided to go in a different direction. But anyway, I'm not saying this stuff happens. I'm not saying that it happens. I'm just saying, you now there are more, like, you can get a little more granular in your search,
Yeah.
instead of staying super broad and saying, hey, I want to work for Google. um I mean, good luck. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's just one of those things. There are a lot more companies out there. That's all he's trying to say. There are a lot more companies out there.
They are, and I love what you just said because it's so true. If you take your experiences and you funnel it, okay, there's an overarching umbrella of tech, then there's healthcare, right? There's med tech. Then from there might be like one of the companies here, sleep and meditation. Oh, I have a psychology background, or oh, I have a behavioral health background. Like there's so many ways that you could distill that down into where you could find companies that fit your background and allow you to really succeed. So there's so much going on there for sure. Trey backed off of the conspiracy theory quick.
Hey, look, I'm trying to stay alive. Okay, I it's
uh,
it's a lot of things. Listen, it's a whole lot of things that I have in my brain that I will not say at all. I might be thinking it, but you won't hear it come out my mouth. I'm look, you're not about to catch me. Oh, he's out of there. Not me.
Where's
Uh-uh.
Trey?
Exactly. No, it's,
Yeah,
it's a whole bunch of conversations that we have. I'm just like, boy, I could say some stuff right here. Like even right now, what's going on with the Telegram CEO. It's a lot of stuff going on, y'all. Hey,
there's a lot of
when
stuff
they
going
when
on.
they when they want some information, they're gonna find a way to get it. Okay, Telegram CEO, you ain't giving up this data. We need this data. Okay,
Ugh,
we're gonna
da-
we're gonna find a way to get this data.
data is definitely gold right now. So
Yeah,
they
man.
will do a lot of things for data, for sure. Um, a lot of things. So, but yeah, y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us on the show. Again, I just forgot to remind you, but if you are not, go ahead and subscribe to youtube.com/at tech talk that tech show. That's youtube.com/at talk that tech show. I was laughing at Tech Coach Rob. He said, "LOL." Who
Yeah,
they said?
man.
Tell her who? CEO.
Man,
Yeah.
listen. When they need to get the information, they're gonna figure out a way to do it.
They gonna
And
find
low key, you single fellas out there. Apparently, I'll throw this in here before we get out of here. Apparently, he would have got away with it if it wasn't for that. No, I'm,
meddling.
I'm kidding. Not the meddling, but if it wasn't for his girlfriend posting where
Mm,
they were, right? She
mm.
posting at the restaurants, posting this dude making goo gobs of money. Ain't never been seen. Now he got a girlfriend, and she posting everywhere he's going, everywhere they going, and they caught up with him, and they
Trifling.
said, "Hey, we need to talk with you in
Yeah.
jail." But anyways, I'm off of it. That's as far as I'm going. But that's right, Tech Coach Rap. That's what happened to a lot of these rappers as well. I don't know.
Oh
I
man.
wouldn't. I just look at it from the sideline. I've been married for going on 11 years, so I don't know what's going. I'm just saying, if you're single out here, try and post this stuff after. I'm not even huge, and I do it. Like if you see that I went somewhere on like Instagram or something like that,
It
you
happened
better
already.
believe, yeah, it's been done. It might have been. I might be 2 places away from that spot now, but it just is what it is. But anyways,
That is a great side note. Listen, y'all, that's truth in that. Especially if you own a home, whatever, you posting your
yeah,
vacation. the person that's been scoping you out for months are like, oh, bet, all right, time to go shopping. So
look, listen, man, you look. I know people who they don't post their vacation stuff till they back at home. They at home and they just now posting the vacation stuff for that reason, man. It's one of those things. Like you got to try and figure out a way to either if that's your thing, right? If posting all your stuff is your thing, just switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Tech Coach Ralph, he's like, yeah, Ralph 35 feet. It says Mitch. Trey trying to downplay his celebrity. Everybody know he in Miami.
Nah.
He's like, one day, but not right now.
I'm not in Miami.
Oh man. Well, that leads us to our favorite segment of them all. If it's not yours, that's fine, but it's one of ours, which is the Brown Box Special. Listen, this is a time for you to share any stories of anything you know of. It could be yourself or not yourself, of somebody that was either fired, laid off, or just straight up quit. This is for therapeutic reasons, so we could all laugh at our pain, or sometimes be like, hey, that was crazy. So this one is about, okay, so we had this guy, right? When I worked at a grocery store who seemed kind of seedy from the beginning. We'll call him Creepy Pete. He was a fedora wearing, non-ironically, was proud of his off-the-grid house and smelled of cigarettes and BO. He liked to flirt with the girls who worked there and often got shot down. We actually kept a log of times he would say inappropriate things, and then, for YouTube cases, actual things, I would say, around minors and customers. Our manager called him HR's worst nightmare, but couldn't fire him as he didn't have the power in the family-owned business. A few months later, I left, transferred into a different retail setting, and he got fired after one of the family members caught him making moves on a new hire who was no older than 16. Good riddance to him.
Out of there.
Yeah. Out of there like swimwear.
Yeah. Get him out of there.
And that was credit from Reddit. So yeah. Oh, crazy stories out there. Keep your kids safe.
Man,
yeah.
Got to.
So many different
cases. It didn't it? Tech Coach Ross said that story escalated quickly. It definitely did.
Yeah, that story went from 0 to what? So thankfully they got rid of him. We got OTTO in the building. Day one right here. What up, Operation Tech Takeover? He says PNB was a perfect example. Oh yeah, PNB was a perfect example of that. Got shut up after a live and Pop Smoke as well. When you're posting your location, y'all be careful on.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. I mean, even if you have a home, maybe take it off the public stuff. If you're making content and you're creating and stuff like that, get it off the public sites. You can request that and they'll do it for sure. Or you can probably just purchase the home under a LLC and then then they definitely want to see your stuff. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's so so much thing you do to protect yourself out there, but very good point, y'all. And that is our show for today. Thank you so much for rocking with us on another episode of Talk That Tech. Like I said, always, if you are not familiar with it, down below, there's a ticker right there. You could go ahead and check out youtube.com/@TalkThatTechShow, youtube.com/@TalkThatTechShow for more. Tech Coach Out says, I have multiple layers of in-home security. I'm pretty sure he has lasers. He definitely has motion sensors for sure. A couple of Rottweilers. I'm definitely sure that they're like at least two Rottweilers that are like
lightsaber
ready to go. A lightsaber. I like that one. License to carry. Mitch says Ralph is a house cat.
God, cold as ice.
So he's the cat in Oliver Twist versus the Rottweilers in Oliver Twist. Y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us again on the show. Please subscribe if you have not. There's also a podcast version of this where you can listen to it on the go. So go ahead, check that out, and we'd love to see you soon on another edition of Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week, baby.
Yes, peace.